Yeah, I want to do this little heads up on some ammo with my 1522. I think everybody should have one of these 1522s that are into ARs. Inexpensive shooting and good practice. They actually, you can switch parts directly over. I've actually had a Saint nickel boring trigger in this thing. I went back to original because I put the trigger back in my Saint, the nickel boring one, and with that I had a Timney in, and I put my Timney in my Target AR with a longer barrel. So anyhow, I wanted to do a little ammo situation that I run into. I've come across these Thunderbolt shoot best, most reliable in my 1522. However, I've had problems recently, the last two trips to the range. I don't know if it's the batch I got, and I actually got two boxes from the same batch. This is the new box. I have a box that is open. I put it in a different container for the range and everything. I keep this thing super clean. I keep it nice. Anyway, last time I was at the range, I was firing it, and then I was getting like half pops out of firing it, and it sounded like a back pressure thing going on, and I completely lost accuracy altogether. I had this thing zeroed at dollar size, silver dollar size groups at 25 yards, and just totally lost it, and was getting the weird back pressure sound out of the ammo. And I stopped shooting it thinking, I don't want one blowing up my face or whatever, or split my barrel or anything weird. It's not going to split my barrel. But anyway, you know what I'm talking about. I just didn't want any weird shit with the rim fire. You never know. Very unpredictable. So what I did is I took my gun home. I cleaned it. I noticed it was kind of jamming, get my rod in there to clean it. And I luckily had some of this JB left around. I've had this for a while. But it reminded me of when I had a problem with my 2245 Ruger, the Mark III or whatever it was. I liked it. I've since went with Browning, the Buck Mark. But anyhow, this what it was is I actually jammed. I was shooting in Arizona, and I had lead flaring out of the tip of my barrel. It was hot, and also it was lead bullets that were caking up my barrel. You start a little bit, and it's kind of like a snowball. It just gets worse and worse and worse. Took it home, went to clean it, and got the rod stuck in it. I was living in Arizona, like I said, down in Tombstone, and I sent it to Ruger in Phoenix. I was in the same state. Didn't matter because they took it back anyway. They had it for a week. They sent it back to me, and their notes were only use copper washed 22LR, which is the coated. Okay, so I didn't learn a lesson back then. I did with my Mark III. I only used the copper wash, got rid of it, like I said, replaced it with a Buck Mark. Now I'm with the Buck Mark, running Buck Mark. I like that for my target. Anyhow, back to this lead nose bullets. That's the problem. I took it home, I got it reamed out and everything, worked fine. Took it back to the range today, same thing happened. Fired about 50, 75 rounds, 100 rounds. And I started doing it again. You hear a half a pop and like a compression thing going on. And I quit firing right away. Don't want no problems. Nothing blowing up in my eyes or anything like that. So what I did today when I went home, I looked through it really good with my, I have a little flashlight here. And I put it down in there and I looked and I could see that there was a ridge going. And so what I did is when I went to ream it out and I used some of this boar paste, it's kind of thin. It's not a real gritty one, but it works good. It does. And of course I pre-soaked a little bit, got a lot of this going in there. And this is what slid out of there. And I did take a magnet to this. This is not a part of my barrel. This is lead. And it kicks up on the sides, and then you lose your accuracy, and you can have some major problems. So no more just straight lead nose bullets. Always am going to use copper wash from now on. The reason why I went with these Thunderbolts is because they fed awesome. And I don't know if it's the batch of this particular batch. I have two boxes of these, like I said. And I don't know if it's this batch that's doing it, but I'm going to go back to what Ruger told me a long time ago. Copper wash bullets. I just have to find ones that feed good. I use the 333. I think they're the golden bullets, I want to say. Copper wash hollows. And they don't feed well in my gun. And I go back to these and they feed great. So I will have to play with some ammo and see what feeds well. Hopefully not two of expensive ones, because I like using cheap ammo on this little 1522 because I'm not out for accuracy. I'm out. If I can hit a group like that standing at 25, 30 yards, I'm fine. So a heads up on these, lead nose bullets. I would go with what Ruger recommended years ago to me, copper wash. I just want to share that with everybody. If they're having that same problem or wondering what the hell's going on, there's a good indication that's probably what it is. And I did find a really nice, I'll give you a little more one more heads up on this. I found nice little reflex sights that go. They got 5 different reticles, I believe, back here. I'm sure you've seen these things. Lion Tech makes one, Pinty. I think they're all from Japan or China, and they sell them in bulk, and then these guys put their names on them. There's probably, when you buy it in bulk, you probably get a rights to where you could do that, because this is the exact same one as the Lion Tech one. I mean, color and everything. So, $16, $17 eBay. I actually picked up another one for my CX4 Storm, my 9mm carbine, and I haven't assembled it yet. So this is basically how they come in a really nice little box, actually. Very nice. That's it there. And this is straight up how I got it. It comes with 5 batteries. Okay. And it's a 2032s, which go in a lot of stuff. And it comes with a little cleaning cloth, and it comes with your tools and everything, and a little instruction manual. Pretty cool. And like I said, I picked up 2 because they do. They hold 0. They're bright enough, and you have all different reticles. It actually has this one of the reticles is the same as the Holosun 510C and the 515C, and I have those both. I use those on my AR and a couple other firearms I have. So I want to get used to that same dot, circle dot, basically. And a heads up, hopefully this stuff helped. And if you're having problems getting a half pop or a muffled pop out of your when you're firing your gun, it's probably you're getting some back pressure going on and could probably cause some major damage. Hopefully, this happened to me twice. Hopefully it didn't damage my barrel at all. But this is a close range barrel, and as long as I can hit, like I say, groups like that at 25, 30 yards, 50 yards, I'm fine with it. And other than that, this thing is very accurate. I mean, when this thing's, if I bench this thing, I get groups like that, easy. Maybe even like that at 25 yards benched with a bipod. So I like what's going on with this thing. I just, you got to find my ammo now, my copper wash that's going to feed properly through this. Thanks for watching. There's also another way to get your money out of Starbucks. is I like using these as little cleaners. They work really good. These are the coffee stirrers. And what I do, and these are actually bamboo shish kebabbers. And they got little points. Great for cleaning down in there, So, very good. I use this little pick tool for the muzzle brake. I'll stuff the muzzle brake and then grab this out of there to get in there, without touching any of the metal, so you're not scratching anything. Let me show you what I do with these little Starbucks gizzies. You can cut them off to different angles. I like to, and I use it for my pistols too. What I do is I just grab them like that. You get 2 or 3 out of one, and basically I cut it in an angle so you can make a point of it. And there you be. And they last forever. I've got ones that are old, but every time I go to Starbucks, I will pick a handful of these up, and they work really good for pistols, all firearms, I would say, and the old shish kebabbers. Got different size ones too, but these are pretty stout. The points on these are really heavy. I've used this through the years, and they get in the little areas where you can't. So heads up. Hope this helped. Another little tool I use for helping cleaning, especially with my 22Rs, because I douche the shit out of them with the juice, and then you're gonna have all this mess. And I've got this little airbrush compressor down here, and just I hit it with my toe, and it builds up, and then it's got a little reservoir there. But this is actually for painting, but I use it as a blower as well. It's a dual action, so down is that, and then back if you're painting. But works great for in and out, blowing off your lenses as well. Works really good. This is my VTR, 22-inch round fluted. Sweet. Compressor down here. I do a little airbrushing, so I have it, and I figured, hey, why not? The big ones make a lot of noise too. This kind of works really well. Okay, so I've got my 1522 out here with my little Pinty red dot at 25 yards, and I am using copper wash bullets only. This is my new thing. No more lead nose. Okay. Spend a few bucks, but get better accuracy and all too. So 25 yards, and do a quick 10 rounds and see where we're at with this thing. Got my VTR out here too, my 223 out of 100, playing with this thing. Yeah, going good. Got some good groups of that thing going. But 25 yards, like I said, I went from the lead nose bullets. They're definitely kicking up my gun. 25 yards, and that was just the last shots I just fired, and that was right before zeroing it in. So 1-inch pacers and a 3-inch. So not bad. I think I'll stick with this little bit better quality ammo as well.